What's up guys, it's James here from Smoking UK, where we review, communicate and educate all things tobacco. Today I'm sitting down and smoking a cigar I've had my eye on for the last couple of weeks since it landed in our humidors here at Smoking. And last night I sat down with Jared and Glenn Case of Kristoff Cigars to film an interview, which will be dropping very soon. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss on that. It was an absolutely great hour to sit down with those guys. But of course I'm talking about the Tres Compadres Robusto from Kristoff Cigars. It's got a great story behind it. I've heard it's an absolutely amazing blend. So let's run the intro. Let's dive into this cigar.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important announcement.
Now, like I said, this cigar landed with us not long ago in our humidors alongside the Guardrail and the GC series, which I smoked with Glenn Case last night. And this cigar has received glowing reviews. I've heard nothing but positive things come back about this cigar. So I knew that I had to sit down and smoke a cigar for a Friday session. It was going to have to be this one. And the Jared and Glenn Case last night put me in such a good mood speaking about this blend from this cigar and the story behind it, that it just was meant to be for me to sit down and smoke this cigar today. That initial light up is really, really smooth. And, you know, I mention this in every single one of our videos. Your initial light up is always going to be a little bit more bitter, a bit more spicy compared to the rest of the cigars. So never judge a cigar by its initial light up. If you light it up and you say this is too spicy, this is a bit too more bitter, give it 10-15 minutes, let it get about a centimetre in, I guarantee that cigar mellows out a little bit more. But you're not really getting that with this one. There is a little bit of black pepper at the back of the mouth, which was expected, but I've definitely smoked spicier and stronger cigars from the Kristoff line. And to me, this thing has a perfect draw that I love. It's not so open that it's like sucking air through a straw, but it's not so tight that I'm really having to use my cheeks, my jaw to draw that smoke in. It is really comfortable and really easy to get the smoke into the mouth. So this is a medium body stick coming in at a 5x50 ring gauge. So I can probably expect an average smoke time of about 40 to 60 minutes. I've heard nothing but great things about this cigar, so I'm not going to rush it today. If I can get 60 minutes out of this, I'm going to get 60 minutes out of this. It is a Nicaraguan Puro, and I'll jump into a little bit more deeper into the story behind the cigar, which Glenn Case told me last night. The Tres Compadres was a new name they had to come up with because it's named after his two closest friends and influences in the cigar industry. They used to call themselves the Three Amigos. That was already trademarked, so they changed it to the Tres Compadres. And if you ever look at the band here, you'll be able to see the initials of his two closest friends either side of the GC in the center on each coin. And what Glenn was telling me is they both had two very different flavor palettes and different flavor profiles that they could pick up on the mouth. And he tried to create a blend that was a perfect balance or perfect representation of all three of their palettes combined into one. It's still a fairly new cigar and was only actually introduced into the PCA show in 2023. But the one thing that sold me on this cigar is the presentation on it. Take a look at the band on that. I love the gold, I love the blue, I love the representation. And I think when you walk into our New World humidor and you scan your eyes across, and you know, Kristoff takes up a big chunk of that humidor, these are going to stand out. And I think they truly stand out because other than a few of their lines, like maybe the Sumatra or the San Andres and definitely the Connecticut, a lot of their packaging, their presentation, the blends are really dark looking, really evil looking. You've only got to look at the Pissed Off, go and have a look at the Vengeance, go have a look at the Viente. But when you put this amongst the rest of them, That stands out like a tracking beacon, like a light at the end of the tunnel. It's so different compared to the rest of their range. And I think that's probably what drew me to it. After all, as cigar smokers, we shop mainly with our eyes to begin with. We don't know if that cigar is going to taste good. So 9 times out of 10, we pick up a cigar because we love the look at it. We love the presentation. We love the color and the wrapper. We love the look of the bands. And, you know, that's 9 times out of 10. That's why we're picking it up. We shop with our eyes before we even ask the person in the tobacconist, what's that made from? But I really think the guys over at Kristoff have really hit the nail on the head with this one. And, you know, it drew me instantly, like most cigars do. But I know a lot of people have gone out their way and spotted this in the humidor based off just what it looks like. You know, once we've got past about a centimeter in to this stick, that black pepper has really died down. It's a really nice, well-balanced stick. There's like a lot of wood, a lot of smokiness, maybe a little bit of oak, a little bit of leather, and an ever so slight bit of almost like dark espresso, especially coming through the retrohale. I think we're well underway to setting ourselves up for a fantastic smoking session today. This cigar is developing absolutely beautifully. Those woody notes that I was slightly getting in that first third is really ramping up. Now we've started to hit that middle section of this cigar. But what a new profile that's slightly starting to come in, and I'm probably predicting that by the final third that's really going to ramp up, is a lot of dark chocolate. Almost like, you know, the 80% cocoa that you can get. I'm really getting that starting to come through at the sides of the palate as well. But again, it's still incredibly smooth, and I'm not surprised by that at all, being a Nicaraguan puro. If you know me, if you've been watching this channel for a while, personally, I think Nicaragua produces some of the best tobacco in the world, and that is a hill that I will die on. And this cigar reflects beautifully on that as well. The construction has been absolutely incredible. I did notice that I personally slipped when cutting the cap off the top of this cigar, and it's I've had a bit of a flaky cap, but it hasn't rendered my smoking experience at all. I simply just rotate the cigar slightly as I'm bringing it out of my mouth, but it hasn't hindered the smoke at all. I've had a really good even burn from start to finish. Obviously, we know not every burn's gonna be flat, but this thing has really held on to its own. A beautiful crystal white head of ash, knowing there's loads of nutrients in that soil before the seed or the plant even touched the ground. And that's the kind of dedication and attention to detail that I like seeing in my cigars. I'm really excited to see how this develops into the final third. I don't even know what to say about this cigar at this point. I've enjoyed this so much more than what I thought I was going to. I knew I was going to enjoy it. I haven't had a bad Kristoff cigar, but I would put that up there with one of the best Kristoff cigars I've ever smoked. And the main reason for it is it doesn't attack the palate. And what do I mean by that? Is there's certain cigars that when you smoke, you're going to get a real strong flavor note. And that flavor note can last from the start of that cigar right to the end. It might be spice. It might be like a woody note. It might be coffee. It might be something. But it's a real dominating flavor profile. And everything else is kind of dancing around that single flavor profile. You don't really get that with this. There's no harshness on this cigar at all. Would I say it's amazing for beginners? Probably not. There's lighter cigars out there. Go give the Kristoff Connecticut a try. It is incredible. But if you've been dabbling cigars for a bit, if you've a seasoned cigar smoker, you smoked for a while, I genuinely think everybody should go check out this cigar. It's surprised me more than I thought. It's given me loads of different flavor profiles. Like one flavor profile comes in and then it's disappeared, then another note's come in, then another one's disappeared, but none of it has been harsh. And coming into this final third now as I am, everything starts to really ramp up, and things have. But again, it's still not harsh in the slightest. It's a very comfortable smoke. It's very smooth, and it has been from start to finish, from that initial light up right to this final third. It's been absolutely delightful. The construction has been second to none. I haven't had a bad burn. It hasn't fallen apart. I've had no part of the wrapper start lifting, no cracking. The only bad bit I've had is something that I caused myself by slightly overcutting the cap of the cigar. And again, it still hasn't fallen apart. It's the fact that I've done something wrong on the cap of the cigar and it still hasn't fallen apart just proves the quality and craftsmanship that goes into Kristoff Cigars. It's been absolutely delightful. And the one thing I haven't mentioned throughout this video, the aroma in the air is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous in here. It's a weird thing to explain, but it smells like a cigar lounge in here. Which I know sounds really weird, but it's really subtle. It's not really harsh. It's not really smoky. It's just kind of here dancing around the head, and it's absolutely delightful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit back. I'm going to enjoy the next 10 minutes maybe I've got left in this stick. Thank you for coming along with me on this journey of discovering the Tres Compadres Robusto from Kristoff Cigars. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think you are too. So of course, it goes without saying, we've grown this channel and we're continuing to grow this channel so much faster than what we originally planned. And that's because of you absolutely amazing people. So hit that subscribe button, enable notifications. We post 3 full-length videos every single week on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, and tonight on a Friday at 8 p.m. So you get your dinner, go get your drink, go get your cigars, and sit down and join me at 8 p.m. on those 3 days. And let's discover a new cigar together. And pipes. It is my personal mission in 2025 is to find you your next best cigar, and I can't do that without you hitting that subscribe button. Of course, it also goes without saying, go join the Smoke King Fellowship. It's something that we've recently launched only about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we're growing a great community over there. Doesn't matter what kind of smoke you are. It could be cigars, pipes, snuffs, chewing, cigarettes, hand rolling, whatever it is. Whatever it is that you smoke, go join. We're always posting things over there. We're letting each other know what our recent purchases are, what we're smoking. We're asking questions. And we have Friday Fun Day every single week where we give you, the followers, something exclusive to the fellowship. So the link will be down in the description below. Go join that as well. Also, every single link for our social medias will be down in the description below. So find your favorite platform and go and drop us a follow over there. So I've been James. We've been smoking. This has been the Kristoff Tres Compadres Robusto. And I'll see you in Tuesday's video.